What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and this is my FN503 that I love to pocket carry. I pocket carry it about 50 to 60 hours per week, believe it or not. This thing sits in my pocket about 50 to 60 hours per week. Look at the dirt from this week. I got to clean it. Look at the grit, the scratches. This thing's been beat up, but you know what? When you take to the range, it works. It goes off. I always tell the story. I'm going to go back to it for a second. I went to my aunt's farm to go shooting, and I pocket carried this for a couple weeks without cleaning it. I went to the farm. I'm like, you know what? I just want to see if it runs while in the dirtiest possible conditions, because it's going to be in dirty conditions. When you pocket carry and when you do what I do for a living, it gets dirty. Now, I started shooting at the farm. Guess what? That thing ran. It ran howls. It ran everything. I put a couple hundred rounds through it in one day, not a single issue. And I was watching drywall shoot out the side. I was watching wood shavings, little piece. I was watching all this gunk and stuff. I made sure the barrel was clean before shooting, but everything else was dirty and gunked up. Now, it ran. Now, someone came to me recently. He's like, my one firearm is a Ruger EC9S. I bought it for everyday carry, and then I realized, hey, home defense, this might not be the best option. But he's like, I don't have money. You know, I'm like, you can make anything work. As long as you have a firearm, as long as you can protect yourself, I am for it. I'm not going to hate on your setup. This is my home defense setup right here. This gets so much hate. A lot of my firearms do, but that comes with the game. It is what it is. So you know what I told this person? Instead of saying, oh, EC9S, that's 7+1 with the flush mag, but they do come with a 9-round or an 8-round made by Ruger, so they are reliable. I'm like, the EC9S is a reliable firearm. I actually had one in the past, and I loved it. I put a Hogue grip on it, put a light and laser on it, put that 9-round mag. I told him, you know, spend $100, $200 more. You can turn that into something decent. Get a couple extra backup 9 rounds. You'll be fine at home. Get some good hollow points. Test it. He's like, I really like how thin it is. I like I can pocket carry it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. At home, you can turn your firearm into anything because you don't have to worry about concealing it. You don't have to worry about stuff that you would have to walking around a supermarket and so on. So this is what I do to mine. Honestly, you don't need all this. You literally, could I make an FN503 work for my home defense? Throw the 8-round mag in? Yes, I could. Because I train with it. I work with these firearms. That's what I told him. Don't get down. And I'm like, the EC9S is a reliable firearm. It's cheap. Like I said, you need some night sights on it. I don't think it comes with night sights, but I just told him, like, every month, save up and get one more extra part for that firearm. You can turn that into a home defense. I don't care what people say. People come at me all day long with the Glock 39, the FN503. Oh, 6+1. What are you going to do with that? I train. I bust my butt. I try to be the best I can at shooting. So when the time comes, if I only have 6+1, that I can get the job done. I always carry a backup, though, and I always recommend a backup night sights, but you can make dang near anything work. Don't get down. If you don't have the best setup right now, that's fine. Literally, you just need something to protect your life, your kid's life, your family's life. And a lot of times, 6+1 is going to get you out of that situation. And like I said, that Ruger EC9S, you can get the 9-round mag with the Hogue grip. You know, have a real comfortable, ergonomic, good setup to where you can defend yourself at home. Get 3 backup mags. Learn reloading mags fast, on the fly, in stressful situations. You can make dang near anything work. It's about practice. I'm so sick of this internet stuff. Honestly, this week's been crazy for me internet-wise. I look in the comments, and I just see hate. I honestly stop replying to people because it's just so much hate. And I'm like, why isn't the gun community lifting each other up and getting each other's back and, like, giving each other advice? And instead, they, you know, if I would have came out and said, oh, my home defense, FN503, 8+1 with the extended mag, obviously, you know how much hate I would get for that? People would go off on me and say, oh, that's stupid, that's dumb. It's like, what if that's the only firearm I could afford? What if that's the only firearm I have? And I'm in a stressful situation, I have no money, and I just want to protect my... That's fine. You work with it. Do what you got to do. Throw some night sights on it. That night sights, 8+1, buy 2 or 3 extra mags, you're good for a home defense. I don't care what people say. People with the best stuff and staccato, you know, all the staccatos and all this stuff now, you don't need that. You can make dang near anything work. It's about practice, training, and it is about gear. But if your firearm runs, that's good enough. That'll get you out of the situation if you train. I can't stress training enough. Sometimes people they get this expensive firearm. I see it all the time on YouTube. They're showing off their firearms. I'm like, you have literally no wear on your firearms. What do you do with them? Do they just sit in a safe? Like, what? Whereas people who do have the Ruger EC9S for home defense, I said, get out there and shoot. Shoot 1 box a week. I don't care. Just get out there, shoot. Make your rounds count. Shoot 1 shot at a time. Place it down. Low ready, up, shoot, put it down. Take your time. Figure out why you're shooting a little low and left. Figure out why you're shooting a little high and right. Figure out what is going on. Get really familiar with that firearm. You could make an EC9S work. I hate to say it. You could make an FN503 work. I know people are going to hate on this. I don't care at this point. I'm sick of people putting everyone down about their firearms. It's not that big of a deal. If that's what they feel comfortable with carrying, then that's it. Sorry, my kids are upstairs. If someone told me I could only have an FN 503 the rest of my life, I would get so good with that firearm that I'd never have to worry about it. I would make sure it's reliable, a night sights, backup mags, call it a day. If it really came down to it. What everyday carry is about, and firearms are about, we're supposed to be like a brotherhood. We're supposed to be like a group of people that support each other and are there for each other and are trying to help each other get better and help people learn about firearms and rounds and how to save money, how to get better, how to train. We're not here to say, oh, you have this gun, forget you. You have this gun? Now, I do talk down on SIGs, I talk down on Taurus, I talk down on Glocks even if you watch my videos. But they're all good firearms, and as long as you're protecting yourself, that's what everyday carry is about. We need to come together. Right now in these times, believe it or not, the Senate is in Democrat hands. And so that's pretty big for all this. That has to do with judges and all that. Basically, Biden will be able to put in any judges he wants. They can't block it because the Senate is held by the Democrats. And obviously you have Kamala. If any tie of any sort were to come up, it's still not finished, but they are calling it for the Democrats in the Senate. This is the time where we need to be looking good. This is the time where we need to be supporting each other and not sitting here putting each other down about what firearms we have. That's so childish and pointless. Why don't you uplift the person or say, you know what, the EC9S might not be the best for home defense, but I'll tell you how you can make it the best for what you have. I can give you the best case scenario for what you have so you feel comfortable. That's exactly what I try to do. I get hundreds of messages every day, I kid you not. And I try my best to respond to people on Instagram, all over the place. And it's just simple questions like, will this suffice for home defense? I've never told someone no. Never once. Is this enough for everyday carry? It's like a Glock 43, 6+1. I'm like, that's fine. Train, you will be fine. People have carried revolvers for years. People carried the, Glock 43 for years, the XDSs, the FN 503s, even though this hasn't been out terribly long. People have gotten away with carrying small capacity for years. It's about your training. It's about a backup mag, night sights, just being comfortable with your firearm. You guys, like this YouTube has really changed my outlook on the firearm. Just everyone who's into firearms. It's driving me crazy, to be honest, because like, how can all these people that have something so in common, so similar to each other, second they cross paths, it's just, oh, your gun's terrible. Oh, yours looks like crap. Well, why would you just uplift each other, help each other? I don't know everything. I mess up when I'm making videos. I say the wrong names. I get something wrong. It is what it is. Help me learn. That's what I'm trying to do with everyone else. This channel is about being prepared to make it through any situation that could possibly come up, regardless of your tools. Literally, I could give everyone right now an FN 503 and we could all work together and say, how can we get so good with this firearm that it'll work no matter what? That's what we need to be about. Right now is a crazy time in the world. You need to be on your toes. You need to be defending your family, yourself, and so on. And we need to defend our rights. We need to make ourselves look good. What kind of community do we look like putting each other down about each other's firearms? What kind of community is that in the end? What is that, build each other up. Let's help each other. Let's help each other figure out what works for us. I've given so many recommendations to people, and I will tell you not one single time has someone come back to me and said, you're wrong. And I'm not saying I'm the best or know-it-all, but honestly, I've worked with these firearms so much that when I give input, people end up getting that product. They get the grips. They get the firearm. You know how many people have gotten a Glock 26 since my channel started, and they say it's because of me? And I say, that's awesome. You can make that work any way possible. People say, what's the best first firearm? I don't just say Glock 26. I tell them all sorts of options, but I let them know, in my opinion, the 26, never once has someone come back to me and said, you screwed me over. That's what we need to do. We need to be looking out for each other, help each other. Don't get in the comments and fight with each other, debate with each other. Debate it. Talk about firearms. Talk about what we love. I make fun of SIG all the time. I love my SIGs. My P365s, I love it. I love my macro. I love them. I talk down on Taurus. I have 4 Tauruses. Why would I talk down on something I hate? Because there's a reason why I talk down on Taurus. It's because their past reputation makes me a little nervous. But do I like Taurus and the direction they're going? Yes. I like anything firearm related. So anyone who likes firearms, come on, guys. Get it together. Quit the hate. Help each other. People are new to this. People are learning. What does that tell them when they're in the comments just wanting to ask a question and then people just snap on, oh, you don't know anything? They're just trying to learn. Everyone started off at some point. So anyways, quit the hate, guys. respect other people, and teach each other. It's the only way we get better. Thanks for watching.